Welcome back to another episode of Work in Progress. Today I have the pleasure of meeting with Jack McConnell, a senior civil engineering student from Chicago, Illinois. Jack participated in co-op from January 2024 to August 2025 with Messer Construction. He has also been a co-op ambassador for the past 2 academic years. He is graduating in December 2025 and will go full-time with Messer this January. Well, Jack, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. Can you do me a favor and tell me your name and then where you went to do your co-op experience?
So I'm Jack. I'm from Chicago, Illinois originally. I'm a senior graduating in December, and I did my co-op rotations with Messer Construction out of the East Charlotte office. And my experience with them was on the Cabarrus County Behavioral Health job and the Cabarrus County Courthouse job.
All right, so can you tell me about how you found out about co-op?
So I found out about co-op the fall of my junior year. I had the civil engineering co-op advisor, Maria Torres, come into one of my classes, and she gave a presentation. And at the time, I was feeling a little burnt out from engineering, and so I went into her office, and she kind of ran me through the process and what it would look like, and decided pretty much on the spot that I was going to do it.
Nice. I love Maria. She's amazing.
She's the absolute best, and everybody should meet her.
Agreed. So can you tell me a little bit about what the application process was for co-op?
So my experience with that was very hands-on with my advisor. So Maria really helped me figure out what I needed to know. And I know all the advisors do that. So the process for me was you sit down with the advisors and they kind of tell you about co-op, and then once you sign up for the class, which is co-op 1010, so you're in Canvas, they give you the opportunity to go through and research a bunch of companies. And that's kind of either through reading about the companies on their website, or a lot of the former co-op students have to write reports of their co-op.
Okay.
So you can read those and get a little feel for what they are. And then after that step, you rank all of them, and that gives you your advisor kind of an idea of what you're looking for.
Gotcha.
And they will then, if you fulfill the company's requirements, so like some companies have a GPA requirement, some companies have a we're only in Charlotte or we're only in Greenville, and so you have to be willing to go there requirement. And they will assign you interviews, and that's just preparation for interview days. And then along with that, whether it's your co-op advisor or the graduate assistants, they will help review your resume, give you interviewing advice, in preparation for that. And then once you go through all that, you go to interview days and you interview, and then a couple of days later is when you can hear about your offer.
Okay, awesome. So that doesn't sound like too much of a hassle for students.
Not at all. It's probably about 10 hours of your life through the whole semester for what, in my opinion, is one of the best experiences you can do. And the great thing about it for me was you can choose when you do it all. So there are deadlines, for example, like interview days is usually for the fall in November. You have to have your resume filled out in October so that they can send it to companies. But if you want to do your resume the first day of October or the 10th of October, whatever works for you, as long as it is before the deadline, is good. And so your interview tryouts, you sign up for the time slot that works best for you.
Okay.
And they will have it for you. So it's really, really easy and flexible as well.
So I know we already kind of mentioned your co-op. Can you remind us what your co-op is, and then what did you do in this role?
So my official title was Project Engineering Co-op. That's kind of changeable, whatever company you work with in the construction industry. It's also probably known as field engineer or assistant superintendent. A lot of my job was really hands-on on-site, whether it was working with the subcontractors on site, solving problems, or, construction, there's a lot of manual labor, so helping with manual labor, a lot of back-end stuff as well. So cost reports, figuring out if submittals were right. A lot of construction is making sure what they do is the right thing, and a lot of that happens beforehand. So helping with that. I did a bit of schedule work, and then as I got further on in my rotations, I took on a bit more responsibility. So I was single-handedly responsible for the closing out of the Cabarrus County Courthouse job.
Nice. And
And then as I got into the Cabarrus County Behavioral Health job, I started to take a more hands-on approach with making sure subcontractors were on time and that they had their schedule right, and making sure that they were doing work correctly, so a lot of quality. And then as I finished up my last rotation, I'm now working part-time for them. And a lot of my job is showing up on Fridays and Saturdays and just making sure that people who are working full-time right now's life is easier.
How has your co-op experience prepared you for life post-grad?
So my co-op experience was great for my life post-grad. I was blessed enough to get a job offer from the company that I co-opted with. So the state of mind that I was in after my rotation was super peaceful because I didn't have to worry about career fair. I didn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
So for me, the transition is going to be pretty seamless. And I know that that's not always super common, but for the kids that I know that don't have that experience, it's still been really easy for them because when you go to these things like the career fair or just interviews that you find outside the university, you have the experience, you have the interview experience, you have the on-site experience in whatever field you're doing that companies really want. And so your transition is kind of really easy because there's also no learning curve. You've done the work.
Yeah.
All the companies in the co-op program do a really good job of teaching you what they expect for a full-time person. You're not getting coffee. You're not doing busy work. You're doing work that matters.
Yeah.
And so your transition is just super easy and carefree.
So for my last question, what advice do you have for students who want to have a co-op experience?
The first thing I would say is come with an open mind. It's not your prototypical college experience. Doing a co-op means you're not going to be in college necessarily for 4 years. But if you go into it with an open mind, the benefits you'll get from it are super, super helpful for your life in general, but also your career.
Yeah.
And so making sure you come with an open mind to make sure that you're not falling into thoughts that people might put on you because not everybody's used to it is super important. The other thing I would say is lean on your advisors. Every advisor in the co-op office does this as a full-time job, and their whole purpose is to set you up not only for success, but for success post-grad. Lean on them. They're all great people. They all have a wealth of knowledge that you won't have whether you're the smartest person in your family or the smartest person in the world. They know things you don't. So keep an open mind, lean on them, and then have fun. You're going to be at a company with people who are in the workforce, but they're not old. A lot of the companies are going to be with 22 to 30-year-olds. They want to involve you. Have fun, enjoy it, whether you're in Greenville, in Clemson, in Charlotte. You most of the time going to be in a new town. Take it, learn the town, meet the people, and enjoy your experience because while you're working, you are still in college, and it is a time to have fun.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. And if anyone has any questions about co-op, be sure to send them an email.
Thank you for having me. Co-op, I'll just last before I leave. It's the greatest thing I've ever did in Clemson. I would very much encourage you guys to do it. And please reach out to all the advisors. They are more than willing to help you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for being here.